Welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you news from the Kern County Sheriff's Department, the CHP, Cerro Costa Community College, Ridgecrest Animal Shelter, today's KZGN Talking Points editorial, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyo Kern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News Crew.
Hello, I'm Tom Waitnick. Thanks for joining us for the news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. Here's an update from the Kern County Sheriff's Department on the manhunt for the suspect involved in the recent kidnapping and murder. The manhunt is still ongoing. There is now a reward being offered. The Kern County Sheriff's Office would like to advise the public of a reward being offered in the ongoing investigation in Kelso Valley. The Secret Witness Program is offering a reward of up to $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and filing of a criminal complaint against 34-year-old Benjamin Peter Ashley for kidnapping, murder, and the attempted murder of a peace officer. Ashley is a suspect in the kidnapping which occurred on July 28th in Twin Oaks, and a murder which occurred on July 30th in Jawbone Canyon, and the attempted murder of Sheriff's Office SWAT deputies during a shooting in Jawbone Canyon on August 1st. The U.S. Marshal Service is also offering a reward of up to $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and filing of a criminal complaint against Ashley. So that makes the total reward being offered is $10,000. Sheriff Youngblood said he is committed to getting this guy off the streets. This remains a multi-agency effort to find this guy. Anyone with information should call the Secret Witness Program at 661-322-4040. The Sheriff's Office has also established a 24-hour tip line at 661-392-4360. In news from the California Highway Patrol, there have now been 2 fatal car crashes on Route 395 in our area. The first one was Tuesday morning. At about 2:15 a.m., emergency personnel responded to a single vehicle rollover on Route 395 about 3 miles from the Trona Road intersection just south of Johannesburg. A white GMC Jimmy was traveling southbound and appeared to have veered off the road, causing the vehicle to roll over numerous times and landing off the roadway. The driver of that vehicle died. Then yesterday, we had another vehicle crash in the afternoon. It was a head-on collision between a brand new Kia Optima and a PG&E work truck. This happened a short distance south of the China Lake Boulevard intersection with Route 395. It appears the Kia was traveling southbound and the PG&E truck was traveling northbound. The Kia crossed double yellow lines in a no-passing zone in an attempt to pass 2 vehicles and a big rig truck. The Kia then ran head-on into the PG&E truck. The Kia ultimately wound up in the northbound lanes while the PG&E truck was in the desert on its roof. 2 victims in the PG&E truck were transported to the Ridgecrest Regional Hospital with moderate to serious injuries. The driver of the Kia died as a result of the injuries he received. He was from Lancaster. The victims from the PG&E truck were from Bakersfield. The names of the involved victims have not yet been released. On Monday, August 17th, a special legislative session is set to begin in Sacramento to take up how to fund road maintenance. These special sessions aren't bound by the time limits of regular sessions. So one on financing road maintenance could run for months. It may take that long to iron out the issue's many political wrinkles. The biggest problem is Democrats want to impose new gasoline taxes or other taxes. This would require some votes from at least a few Republican legislators. On Monday, an impressive coalition of local government, union, and business groups unveiled a drive to persuade the legislature to find some mixture of revenues that would pump an additional $6 billion a year into state and local roadway maintenance. There is no disagreement on the need to do something about the state's rapidly deteriorating roadways, generally regarded as the nation's second worst. Governor Jerry Brown is on board, at least conceptually. He called the special session, citing a $59 billion backlog in state highway maintenance and pleading with lawmakers to act. Local governments say they have a $78 billion backlog. Democratic legislators are willing to enact a package of revenue increases, most likely on gas and diesel taxes, and additional vehicle registration and driver's license fees. But Republicans oppose any new taxes. Republicans have proposed using surplus general revenues, plus some of the cap and trade fees on fuel, and some belt-tightening in the Department of Transportation to finance needed maintenance. Assemblywoman Shannon Grove and State Senator Gene Fuller have both put out past statements that the funds are already there for these repairs, If only the Democrats would quit diverting funds already raised for these proposed projects from being diverted into other lesser supported programs. By diverting funds to lesser-liked programs and then crying out that they need funds for a commonly supported program, road repairs, the likelihood of support for new taxes and fees has a better chance of acceptance by the people. Thanks to the two-thirds vote requirement for taxes, Republicans have some hope to influence the decision. Their laundry list includes laying off excess Caltrans staff and cutting environmental red tape for transportation projects. Their additional demands, including general fund diversions, might generate enough opposition among unions, environmentalists, and liberal Democrats to doom the deal. At this point, though, getting Republicans to vote for any new taxes under any circumstances is not likely. Within minutes of Monday's announcement by the Fix Our Roads Coalition, John Kupal, who heads the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, was warning GOP legislators not to heed its pleas. The Fix Our Roads Coalition was trying to get all cities and counties to support this revenue increase ploy. It was even on the Ridgecrest City Council for official support just last meeting. But the people here objected to the city taking a support position to raising taxes and fees. But as the council discussed the support resolution, there was one councilwoman that supported it, and 2 were against it, and the other 2 were wavering. Ultimately, the city of Ridgecrest did not provide any support for this ploy. So since raising taxes requires some Republicans to vote for it to pass, it will be interesting to see how this proceeds. Stay tuned for news out of Cerro Costa Community College when we come back. Welcome back. In news from Cerro Costa Community College, they posed this question: why would Doritos pay $2 million for a 30-second TV advertisement during the Super Bowl? Because there's no more potent advertising medium than TV. Why are companies increasingly using social media to reach their audiences? A marketing course can answer these questions and so much more that can give you the edge you need to be successful in today's tough global economy. Even experienced marketing and branding managers can gain new perspectives, insights, and skills to boost strategic thinking, ensure customer satisfaction, and guarantee the bottom line value of a strategic marketing plan. Cerro Costa Community College is offering Introduction to Marketing this fall with instructor Frank Timpone. The class will meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 to 6:30 p.m. in room 202 of the East Wing. The course introduces the nature and scope of marketing activity as demonstrated by an integrated analytic and practical study of marketing problems. The 3-unit class will explore how to distribute and sell a product or idea, consumer behavioral patterns, strategy, planning, forecasting, and evaluation of the marketing process. Marketing focuses on developing and managing ongoing relationships with customers, competitors, partners, suppliers, and other shareholders, while emphasizing the strong functional linkages that exist in practice between marketing and finance, accounting, operations, personnel, information systems, business communications, and strategic management. A marketing course can be an integral part of any student's education. No matter what the major, no matter what the future job, understanding marketing practices and their role in a modern economy can be useful for any educated person. Effective marketing requires creativity, innovation, and insight. Register today online at www.cerrocosta.edu or call the counseling department at 760-384-6219. On-campus classes begin August 24th. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now. Now here's a reminder from the Ridgecrest Animal Shelter. They want to make sure everyone knows about their current adoption special offer. Adoption fees for cats and dogs at the Ridgecrest Animal Shelter are greatly reduced. Cats and kittens, and boy do they have kittens, are free. Yes, they're free. And dogs are $45 while the funds last. This includes all costs. It includes a spay or neuter, current vaccinations, a microchip, a license for dogs, and a health exam. This is a fantastic offer. If you've been thinking about adding a new family member, this is a great way to do it. Adoption application must be approved. This is sponsored by the Indian Wells Valley Humane Society. Go out to the Ridgecrest Animal Shelter out on County Line Road. They're open 5 days per week, Tuesday through Saturday. Now it's time for the 68th KZGN News Talking Points editorial. Here's today's topic. Is the road ending for Hillary Clinton's run for president because of Emailgate? Anyone remember Watergate? This brought down President Nixon. It was about breaking into the Democratic headquarters by his staffers. They violated the law. This brought his presidency to a halt when he resigned. Well, I call this one Emailgate. Well, most of you know me out there that I'm a Republican conservative, so I have to put that right out front. But in watching the presidential candidate activity, there are two candidates the media is spending a lot of time on, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. I've already discussed Trump before, so today it's Hillary's turn. This fiasco over Hillary's email accounts and her personal server are amazing. In preparation for this editorial, I watched various news sources on TV to get different perspectives on this problem for Hillary. Emailgate. I've watched NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, and Fox News. I've got to say that all the news sources are covering the problem, but I do notice that they do cover it in different tones. Some make the problem sound much worse than another. That was expected. But now that this escalating problem is getting more and more serious, the Hillary campaign is going silent again. Hillary's explanations of these emails on her personal server in so many ways is head-spinning. One pundit on CNN even said that almost every declaration she makes that she is doing nothing wrong is almost always changed the next week. This is sending her trustworthy numbers down like a submarine. The most recent charges are that there is some indication that maybe her internal staffers actually altered classified documents by removing security markings from them, even to the extent of removing top secret markings. Of course, the suspicion there is that they did this to protect Hillary. This is major. For those of you that never worked for the government and handled top secret documents, this is real serious. These are potentially federal felony charges. When I handled top secret documents on the base, they virtually never left my site until turned over to someone with a proper top secret clearance or until I locked them up. They weren't even left lying around in a secure building. Even some of the left-leaning news sources are concerned about these allegations. They are concerned as this could result in criminal charges being brought. One news source discussed the FBI's tactics in the investigation. The tactic is to get some low-level staffer on serious charges, and then that person will make a deal with them to lower their charges in exchange for information on their bosses. It is clear that the FBI believes there is a problem. It's good to see the FBI actually investigating, and getting custody of her personal server and the thumb drive her attorney had is finally being done. Hillary giving up her server is a major issue, because just a couple months ago she said that she would never turn over the server. And if her attorney had classified documents on that thumb drive, he should be arrested already. Unless he had government-approved storage for top-secret documents, he should never even have seen the data on the thumb drive, let alone store the drive. While some news agencies are reporting she is volunteering the server now, some are saying she was given the option of turning it over voluntarily, or the FBI would send in a search warrant team to forcibly remove it from her. So, to save face, she was given the option to spin it that she was voluntarily turning it over. Some pundits are saying she is being given soft treatment by the FBI. That if there are other people that had done what is reported that she has done, they would have already been federally arrested. I believe all the news agencies believe something serious is going to result from this investigation. That the Teflon coat the Clintons wear just might be ripped off on this one. For those of you that might try and dismiss this as just conservative attacks, I say this. Even if this was a Republican that did the things Hillary is suspected of doing, I'd be saying the same thing. The FBI should leave no stone unturned on this investigation. If someone violates security guidelines, they need to suffer the consequences. Will this ultimately stop her run for president? A lot of news organizations are very concerned in their newsrooms. The supporting pundits are having a tough time with this one, and it almost certainly is going to get worse. In conclusion, it's time for someone to tell the truth on Emailgate, but I doubt that will happen. Hillary has a major problem with this one. I'm Tom Whitnick, and that's what I think. I'd like to know what you think. If you have any comments about this editorial or would like to discuss or recommend a topic, I'd like to hear from you. Please email them to info@kzgn.net. Stay tuned for weather and sports when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. Let's go to Keith for the weather. Hey, Keith, what's the heat doing out there?
We have triple-digit temperatures for us this weekend, Tom. High temperatures will reach dangerous levels across parts of the western and southern U.S., including the IWV and all southwest desert regions. Excessive heat watches and warnings are in effect. Heat advisories remain in effect for parts of the western Gulf Coast and Intermountain West. Take extra precaution and follow heat safety tips if you work or spend any time outside. Beware of heat stroke and drink plenty of fluids. Temperatures across the nation. Carolinas came in at 82, Georgia 83, Arkansas 81, Colorado 78, Utah 76, and Los Angeles at 73. And for our forecast here in the IWV, tonight will be mostly clear with a low around 74, south-southwest wind, 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. Friday will be sunny and hot with a high near 104, south-southwest wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour, gusts as high as 20. Friday night mostly clear with a low around 73, west-southwest wind, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday will be sunny and hot with a high near 106, west-southwest wind, 5 miles per hour. Saturday night will be mostly clear with a low around 74, west wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. And on Sunday it will be sunny and hot again with a high near 107, west wind 5 miles per hour. This heat is mild compared to our usual summer and summer heat, but it still can be an issue for those with health issues. We can expect the triple-digit temperatures to last through Wednesday. Now back to Tom and the rest of your KZGN News.
Thanks, Keith. Let's go to Tom Heck with sports.
And a very pleasant Thursday afternoon to everyone. Remember, school started. Be careful out there. Real quick from the scoreboard, the Angels lose 3 in a row in Chicago. They've now lost 9 road games in a row. They lose an 11-inning game, 3-2, to the White Sox. They get swept for the first time in 6 years in Chicago. All right, Houston wins. San Francisco loses. Good news for the Dodgers. The Dodgers now 3.5 games over the Giants. Bad news for the Angels. Angels now trail Houston by 2 games. Angels head to Kansas City for 4 games starting tonight. Who's hot in baseball? The Toronto Blue Jays. They have won now 10 in a row, 12 of 13. They now lead the American League East by a half a game over the Yankees, who lost again. And the Mets now 3.5 over Washington. Justice Scott, a well-known figure now in the area, with us today. He is a head baseball coach at Saracoso, and he has been working his tail off recruiting. He's been here, there, everywhere. Only place he probably hasn't been is across the border, and that's not out of the question yet either. If there's a pitcher, he'll go find one. If there is a middle infielder, no trip is too small for Coach Scott. Coach, real quick, go over your recruiting for us, and things are looking good at the dog yard.
Well, we had a busy summer, busy 3 or 4 months, and we're up to, I think, 32 guys coming in the fall. So we had 6 returners and 26 new guys coming into Saracoso.
So sounds like offensively you're loaded.
Well, we have some depth. Offensively, we did a pretty good job of getting guys in here that we wanted from a position player standpoint. So there's certainly room for guys to battle it out and compete against each other in the fall.
Okay. And now what's fall going to be like for you?
It'll be similar. I'm going to do some things different, but a lot of competition because, again, with the depth we have, that we got to figure out by January 28th when we open up, we got to figure out who we think is our guys that we want out there pretty much playing every day.
Mm-hmm. And a little bit of competition this year. Now, I know that there are some local kids, and go ahead and talk about those real quick here.
Well, we have 3 local kids from Burroughs High School. Dominic Hernandez, big, strong, powerful kid, outfielder, right-handed pitcher, can play a little infield if needed. Jeremiah Johnson, very good defensive catcher, great catch and throw guy, has a lot of potential with the bat. And James Pooley, a solid right-hander that's going to get a lot of innings for us.
Okay, so local kids that are pretty darn good. You got people from out of town, out of state, and it looks like it's going to be an exciting season up at the dog yard. Coach, real quick, your thoughts on Major League Baseball right now. I know you're pretty swarmed and busy with IWV football. Your son Brooks is a star player for the senior team in the IWV, and I know school just started, but what do you think of the Toronto Blue Jays right now?
That's what I was going to say. I haven't watched much baseball the last couple of years, just dealing with trying to get players here. But Toronto made some huge trades and really made a splash by the deadline, and they are They got some team chemistry going right now, and they are playing well.
Troy Tulowitzki from Colorado, who I thought would be the last guy ever to leave Colorado. He's kind of their golden boy, so to say, an all-star. And then you've got David Price, Cy Young Award winner, MVP, and they get those guys for really a piece of pie and a weekend trip to Toronto. And that's about what it was. Some rookies that are playing single and double A ball, to get quality people like that. Life has kind of changed in baseball, hasn't it, Coach?
No, it has, and again, sometimes these deadline trades work out, sometimes they don't. Especially when you get some, not that Price is older, but Tulowitzki is. He's getting on the back end of his career. That they just came in. They're probably excited too to have a new chance, playoff run, and they're giving the Blue Jays that.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll have Justice again on Tuesday night. Coming in a couple weeks, he'll go over the complete recruiting list for us. That's your sports for this Thursday afternoon. For Justice, I'm Tom Heck for KZGN.
So that's the news for today. Always at KZGN-TV, know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Coming up next, Ridgecrest Talk with Al Huey and Robert Ironman.